Welcome to our To the Rescue Authentic Networking Videocast. I am Nicole Williams, along with my co-hosts, Dawn Evans Casey and Jennifer Johnson. Jennifer, how are you today?
I'm good. I am very good. Your smile is contagious. And you
sorry.
Do that. I don't even know how you do that. Well, we've got to get into this because we have Brynn Cochran, who is an agent with Shelter Insurance in Brownsburg, Indiana, with us today. And she's our guest. She's also our TTR member. And she's in Dawn's group, actually. So yeah. I know your group rocks. I know. I've heard
yes,
it.
It does.
You are a good group. Yes, it's true. Well, we're going to turn it over to Brynn, though. We want to know, Brynn, I like that name. Is that a family name? That's not short for something, is it?
I know, it's Brynn.
That's pretty. That's really pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, to the point of my question. All right. Tell us who you are. We know your name, but we need to know more about you, what you do, and how has the state of all this COVID-19 pandemic stuff, how's that affected your business? And we'll let you go. Take it away.
Awesome. Yep. Well, hi. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
You guys already know it's Brynn. Sometimes people think my name is Brian. I actually have a brother named Brian, so it's kind of the family laughing thing. I don't take offense to it, but I often get called that. So, but it is Brynn, and I would have to say first, I am a God-fearing woman who is a wife, a mother, and I have a huge passion to serve people and their needs. And right now, I am a shelter insurance agent, but I never imagined that I would ever be here. Insurance is nothing I ever considered. I've always been in industries where I had opportunities to help people, whether that was a customer service representative for a shipping company, or I was actually in the running industry for a really long time where I got to help people pick out the best type of shoes for them, their running and their physical activity. So insurance was never anything on my radar, but I had an opportunity to become a retention manager at a insurance company. And I just saw a huge need for people to have agents that were patient with them. Listen to them, and that would take the time to understand their needs specifically. And so Shelter Insurance actually came in one time to the company I was working at and boldly recruited me. And it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made as far as careers go. So I've really enjoyed my time with Shelter. I'll be 2 years in November. And I'm actually looking forward to a long road with them. It's a company where you can grow. They're very encouraging, and they value agents who like to have that relationship component with their customers, which is the most important thing for me.
Awesome.
COVID has affected me because actually I became an agent right whenever the pandemic actually happened.
I know.
On with Shelter in November of 19, and of course everything went full blown in the spring of 20. So I think, well, I guess I'll give two perspectives. A negative perspective that COVID has done for me is it's actually enabled me to stay in my administration mode. I'm very good with efficiency with my administration work, and one of the areas that I struggle with is actually going out and engaging with other people and in the community. I love people, but I get so honed in on my work that I always put that on the back burner. COVID actually enabled me to do that in a way that probably just kind of created some bad habits. Or encourage those bad habits, but it's actually allowed me to get a good base and a good foundation because it gave me an opportunity to reach out to all my customers because I did inherit a book of business. So it was great. It was a great time for me to call people, introduce myself as their new agent, now it's time for me to get out in the community and walk into those places and introduce myself as the new local shelter insurance agent. And so I have to step out of my comfort zone and do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
That is awesome.
A lot of people with the COVID though, I mean, and a lot of our members have done better. I mean, because, and I'm sure you probably saw that, right, Brynn? I mean, people looking, even though they might not have known you, did they call you because you were their agent now?
Right.
They were trying to make sure they were saving money or getting the best coverage, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Wanting to better understand and kind of shop around because they had that time.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Nicole, take it away.
No,
your turn.
you're good.
What I do.
Well, Brynn, it is so nice to meet you. And Don, I'm so glad Don's here. I have to say that. Don. Our show is all about being authentic and genuine in what we do. And we were wondering what authentic means to you and your business.
Well, I think all too often in a sales position, there is that idea that people are just out for the money, or they want to get a sale for themselves. I am a very empathetic person. I like to get to know people to make sure that I can understand them better and understand their needs. And sometimes I'm not the best fit for them as an agent, but it's always a pleasure to get to know people. And relationships are the one thing that are very important to me. So to be that type of person, to actually care about people and actually care about their needs and want to get to know them. Some people are very put off by that, actually. So I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes, like when you're authentically kind to people, they don't know how to take it.
They may not be used to it. They may not.
Exactly. Like when I do the follow-ups, or whenever I call back to make sure that they're okay after an accident, or follow up on quoting, or even whenever they say, no, I don't want your quote, or I don't want your business. And I'll say, well, just thank you so much. I'm here. I'll send out card, and I'll
love
say
it
thank you for the opportunity to be able to quote you and get to know you. It's just different. And so sometimes people's reaction can cause one to want to run the other way and not be that person. So it's been very important for me to continue to be that kind person in the face of, I guess, skepticism, maybe. It's very important to me to continue to be the kind individual that I am to people, and that caring person.
Yes.
I actually had a person yesterday tell me, I told them that I did life insurance a little bit. And he's like, oh, because that's where the money is. Because I said that was one of my favorite areas. And he's like, oh, that's where the money is. And that really offended me. I was like, wait. Okay, well, I understand why you're saying that. I was like, but sometimes I wish that wasn't the case, because I would rather there be lower premiums, less commission, so it could be more accessible to people, so they didn't feel like they had to do such a budget crunching to do something that's so important, because I do believe that it's very important for people to have. And he was like, oh, really? And so that's really genuinely how I feel. So I think that's just such a rare thing, and that's the authentic me and my business. It's like I said, I felt like it was an underserved industry, and that's why I got into it.
Love it. Thank you.
Right, exactly.
Cool. Awesome. Well, Brynn, it is a pleasure to have you on today's video cast. And as Jennifer mentioned earlier, you're a member of my networking group. Yes, so I know you very well. And you're just a pleasure to be around, always professional and always helpful. So thank you so much for that. I want to ask, I know that you already mentioned that you started with an inherited book of business, but certainly you're not stagnant with just or limited to just that book. You're in the process of growing and cultivating new client relationships. So how do you go about sharing your knowledge and your services with others? how do you contact new potential clients and people to help?
That's a great question. So during COVID, that gave us a great opportunity as agents to kind of think outside the box. And one of the biggest platforms we could use is social media. So Facebook, LinkedIn were some of the biggest places that I could actually communicate me as the new agent of Brownsburg, going to chatter sites. So asking to join Brownsburg chatter or Hendricks County chatter, Danville chatter, and reach out to the communities that are around us that don't have another agent within them. So that's one of the ways that I do that. Shelter also offers advertising opportunities for us as well. It's called Shelter Targets. So we're able to hone in on certain areas of our community and send out postcards and things like that. And then also one of the things that I realized, actually, when I reached out to Jennifer, I was in the process of trying to get into a business networking group. So I had tried a couple avenues. I've been trying since the spring. And then when I met Jennifer and this opportunity came up. So this is just another avenue for me to get my name and my business out there. It's been wonderful. So I think definitely groups are wonderful and very worth it. And then I would say the most recent thing that I've done within my agency that's not been affiliated with Shelter as far as like advertising goes is send out cards.
Mm-hmm.
And send out literally over 75 cards in the past 3 weeks to people, just because I have made a commitment to have that nice connection with my book of business that I currently have, and try to hopefully within that book of business be so kind and loving to them, tell everybody else about their agent, and so I can get referrals as well.
So there's an ulterior motive, guys. I've never said send out cards is completely without ulterior. No, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's good to hear that. And I didn't even pay her or anything. I didn't at all.
No.
But when I first met Brynn and we talked, kind of, we had the conversation, I just got that feeling she understands what it's all about. And you don't want somebody who's that caring. I'm not even looking at her because I don't want to sound silly, but I mean, really, you are what you mean, when we had our first conversation, I was like, she really cares about her people. And I don't want her to, because I was an insurance agent for years and I got burned out on the negative side of it. I was trying to do exactly, and I think it can be done. I think it's associating with the right people. And not, not that we're the end all meet all, what is that? End all beat all, whatever the word is. But I do think that we have something kind of, I do think that, if you can find good people and selling it can be just, and it makes me feel really good that you're using the cards to do exactly what you're doing. And why wouldn't they want to refer their neighbor to you if you care that much? Why we would all like to have that in our insurance agents. Not that the insurance agents are not all, they're not all creepy, horrible people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm probably going to get in so much trouble for saying that to somebody.
No, but I think we're our own worst enemies.
Yeah.
We're doing my one-on-one with Robert, who's also in our group.
Yeah.
We really are, like, we kind of give ourselves that bad name, like the companies themselves and how we treat people and how we're constantly trying to go from one person to the next. So it's kind of up to those individual peoples to those agents to be authentic within their companies and find those companies that really fit who they are. So I was with another company and they were doing fine. They were doing their business. But Shelter really fit my personality and my character a lot better. And I'm hoping that I last here forever. Like I hope, but I really don't, I'm truly living my life by faith and I don't know what the next steps are. But I really enjoy being able to help people. But like I said, it's a very rare thing in the insurance. Because you got that 1-800 so-and-so that you can just call or
right
online. So it's just
right.
The service aspect of it is not very right now, I guess.
She is what?
Awesome.
She is awesome. Well, and my question, I guess, or my questions, I kind of run them all together because I usually know, and I do know how you found us, but you might want to visit that for a second again. But, what was the other one? You're in Dawn's group. Tell us how you found us, and then do you have a story or anything? Because your group is kind of a unique group, and maybe that is kind of part of the, that they're not all here, right here in Indiana either, because that's part of Dawn's non-traditional structure. But I don't know, maybe you can share what the basic question is. I think, how did you find TTR? Maybe are there any things about the members or Dawn, you can say it, she'll plug her ears or whatever, that brought, that makes you, makes you feel good about the group. And I don't want anybody to make up stories. I guess basically, do you have any stories though that you can share? And maybe it's not our group. I don't know. Maybe it's
very good at making up stories.
Yeah.
I'd put you to sleep if I tried to make up a story.
Yeah.
So I actually found out about Jennifer Johnson and TTR through going to a gospel
Yes.
concert that I went to see the Victoria Trio. One of my friends is the lead singer of that. And I wanted to.
Oh, okay, cool. There we go. All right, go ahead.
Yes. And so I love gospel music. I absolutely love it. And it's when I get my praise and worship time. And so I went and saw her, and Jennifer introduced herself and sang a beautiful, refreshing song.
Oh, thank you.
Kind of talked a little bit about how she networks. And so I linked in her and I messaged her, and then I got to meet Dawn, who is never met her in person, but has the sweetest disposition and a person to listen to, and very calming. So I didn't know how I would fit into her group, but it just works really well. I love to hear the different entrepreneurs in our group. They have wonderful ideas, whether, it's I'm sorry, I don't know names specifically yet, but the lady who does the fingernails, Dawn, I forgot her name.
Dion.
Yes. So, and it's just really neat to listen to how she got into it and her passion for it. And then the lady that does the stationery, just
Pauline.
Yep. And then Stacy with her nutrition. So we just had such a unique group of people, but we work really well together. And it's a very complimentary group. So I'm learning a lot with the networking group, and I laugh and I enjoy it, and I have fun and learn. So that's what I've been enjoying the most about our group. So.
And see, that is really cool, because it is a unique group, and somebody who's listening to this might say, okay, there's somebody in there who does fingernails. Okay, what are you talking about? But
cool.
But it is, and I'm glad to hear, Brynn, that you're talking about, people bring things. Everybody's got different experiences. Everybody knows different people. So when you're in there and you're talking about, different products that you're offering through Shell, it gets everybody thinking. And I'm just glad that you're feeling, because it is a good group. And I'm glad you met with Robert too, because if he's, mortgages, obviously you're needing to have that connection. So, and I just keep thinking, I'm going to turn it over, and Nicole, you can pick it up. Or no, is it Dawn again? I guess
Dawn's next. Dawn's up. Better.
Isn't shelter insurance, doesn't that make you feel like protected? If I knew that Brynn was my agent, but then the name of the insurance company is Shelter, okay. Just what a neat thing. So I'm sure there's a lot we could talk about there, but no, I'm just glad. I have no idea. I do not usually, I sing all the time, but do I usually bring up that I have a networking organization? No, it was weird. I'm starting to do that more, but then when Brynn reached out, Brynn, I actually, for a moment there, I think when I looked at your LinkedIn, I'm like, just another scam, or, somebody trying to get me. And it's like, oh my gosh, she's for real. And her message even sounded for real. We all get scammed or spammed or whatever on those different platforms. The other thing, can I say real quick, Dawn, before we turn it over? We have people who are in the insurance world, financial world, all that kind of stuff, who, when it comes to social media, they go the other way. So I'm really excited that you used that when you were talking about it. I think that's really cool, because you don't have to go into you were just using it to make connections, right? Not
Right.
to sell products at that moment.
And there's a lot of businesses right now, especially that are they don't want you coming into their business, and the no soliciting signs are everywhere.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know.
I think that's really cool though, because
Yeah.
social media is communication. It's how you handle it. You don't have to put the stuff that's regulated. You wouldn't do that. That's when you actually, yeah. I'm just glad you're part of our network. That's all I gotta say. Dawn, go for it.
Me too. I am so glad she's a part of our network, and I think one of the newest members of Collaborating Connections. But I appreciate your affirmation, Brynn, from your perspective as a member, that you get to not only share yourself in your business, but contribute back and forth. The members get to talk and share, exchange ideas, and grow, and that's certainly the intention. And even beyond that, segueing into the question, we are supportive of each other and helping each other. But TTR networking, To the Rescue networking overall, has another tenet, another important aspect, in that we all love to give back to our communities and support nonprofits. And that's very important to each and every one of us, our business professionals. So I'd like you, Brynn, to share what nonprofits and community groups are you personally interested in? And, what have you contributed or participated in that has made a notable difference in your community, in your surrounding area? So if you don't mind sharing that with our listening audience.
Yes, absolutely. This was one of my most favorite parts about this networking group.
Oh.
Nonprofits are one of my favorite. I actually have a nonprofit that is not active right now. I dissolved it last year in August. Actually, it was a year ago today, for the time being, because it was just one of those things. It was on my heart to go ahead and let it go for a minute. I don't know what's going to come of it, but for the last 5 years, I have my nonprofit is called Broken Together Ministries. I've put on a 5K. It's called Adoption Awareness 5K 1 mile. And each year we've had a local family that we've sponsored that it was adopting a child. And then the whole point behind it was to bring the community together and nonprofit ministries to an expo at the race to help people who are adopting or fostering or in safe families learn about different community outlets. So in the fostering and community, it's very hard to find resources to help with like counseling, helping like to get things done for the children, childcare, help with food, help with cleaning around the homes. So it would bring together a community of people to help with the resources, and we got to do a 5K 1 mile. So it was a health thing. So for the last 5 years, I've done that. This is the first year that I haven't. So that is very near and dear to my heart. Adoption is very near and dear to my heart. I was adopted when I was 9 years old.
Oh,
That's that cause. And that was one of the ways I could do that. Running was one of the ways that helped me cope with my childhood. So that was why I implemented the two. But currently I help volunteer at, it's called Hope Center. Out of Indianapolis. they're just a wonderful ministry that helps women and children find healing in tragedy. So currently that is one of the ones that I'm helping with in my downtime with my ministry.
So it's called Broken Together Ministries though? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to find out more about that. Don't you think, Dawn?
Most definitely. Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
My kids keep asking me, why aren't you doing the race this year? And it was 5 years that we've done it. And just something was leading me just to kind of take a little bit of time off to maybe, and I keep telling them and my husband, because I'm kind of preparing him, I'm like, I'm not giving it up forever. I just feel like it might need to go in a different direction. And I don't know what that looks like. So again, like I said, I live my life a lot by faith. So I know it will go somewhere. I just don't know where.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. That is so awesome. Okay, so our audience probably is wondering at this moment, how do we find Brynn? Where is Brynn? How can they contact you?
Absolutely. The best way to contact me is either by phone or text message, and that is 317-852-6959. You can text me. I know a lot of people do that right now. I have access to that all the time, 24/7. My email is bcochran@shelterinsurance.com. So that's BCOCHRAN@shelterinsurance.com, spelled out. And then also I'm on Facebook and I'm on LinkedIn. And then Shelter also has a spot for us on their corporate. So it's shelterinsurance.com. And then you can just type in Brynn, BRYNN, and it should pull me up.
Awesome. Thank you.
You are welcome.
you know, Nicole, do you have any, I know I'm kind of springing this on you, but do you have any other questions for her? Because both Dawn and I know Brynn, or now we know her better. We met her not too long ago, but do you have anything, any questions? I mean, now that I've heard about the Broken Together Ministries,
I'm just fascinated with all you do, and my heart is just like racing because all four of us are just so like-minded in that we love to help others, you know, and and I think about like the full circle, how you are there to help them. They might say no, might mean not now, might mean, I've got somebody,
yes,
but you're still going to follow up with them and thank them for their time because that you value, and I just love that.
And it doesn't surprise me that I'm talking like Brynn's not here. It doesn't surprise me that Brynn, that you're involved or have connections to the Hope Center. Dawn,
Yep.
you've been part of, we haven't done much with the Hope Center since the pandemic, but we have a couple groups that have been very active in the Hope Center or have had connections. And so that's, I guess my question would be, are they doing okay right now? Because this has got to have been a tough time with the pandemic. Or
They are.
They're doing
They are.
okay? Good.
Yes.
Good.
They're doing
Good. So, we always kind of, I just now, I mean, I get so excited, Nicole, I could tell was, the same thing. We find out these things about these people. We know that you're a good person. Then you come in, you share all this and we're like, oh my gosh, there's so much we could do here. Wow. But we do want to give you the opportunity to kind of leave us with a final thought. You've shared so much, but do you have a final thought? I mean, it can be about your insurance business. It can be about life. It can be about whatever you want. We'll leave it with you right now.
Yes, I will just simply say that I am a living, breathing example of God's grace. I'm very grateful to be here. I went from hopeless to hopeful with his grace. And so that's why I am here today. And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome. Do we feel like we've given her is there something, did we miss something? I want to hear her talk more.
I know, right? And
right.
it just warms my heart. I feel the same as Brynn, with my life, just thankful.
Yes.
So, and sometimes like you say your prayers at night, and then it's like, God, just please, you might have something heavy on your heart. And you might just say, please help lead me to the right choice where I can, be of the most value, to the
Right.
world.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I love that. I love that. Well, anything else you ladies want to add? I hate to
No,
close it.
I guess no. I mean, we'll close it, but I would just say being an insurance agent for so long, because I did. I don't make this up. I was an insurance agent. It's so far in the rear view mirror now. It makes me really happy. But I just wish that more people in the industry were like Brynn. That's all. It's just good. It's refreshing to know that. So we're just.
You nailed it on the head. It's very hard to do that.
It is.
It is very hard. It's not encouraged, and you're not viewed well from the community's perspective. So
yeah. Well, we're really happy you're here. You're here today, but we're happy that you're with Shelter. And I would just thank you. And we'll continue to see who we can connect you with. But Nicole, if you want to close it down. And
yeah, thank you everybody. So good to see Jennifer and Dawn and meet Brynn. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
We would like to thank our audience for watching today, and we would also like to invite our audience to visit our website, or www.ttrnetworking.com, or check us out on Facebook or LinkedIn. We're there too, TTR Networking, right?
Yeah.
And we'd love to connect with you, learn more about how we can help you grow your business. And also we offer free visits to our 14 groups, whether it's visually, we've had guests from London, Canada, all over. So check us out. Thank you so much. Until next time, may all your days be filled with authenticity.
Yay.
Thank you.